Thank you for visiting the Coin Lady channel again. In court, Ripple wins out over SEC legislators, then ride in to fix Ripple and, most likely, ensure Ethereum's preservation. To tell you the truth, I snapped at that threat because I believe this recently passed bill had many good provisions. I despise one thing more than anything else. That will be covered quickly. Also, the measure has one excellent provision, in my opinion. Although Ripple will be able to handle the situation, it will be difficult and need them to reorganize and retool. You know, there's a section of this bill that's going to be tough, but they'll figure it out in the end, and XRP will benefit from it overall. Overall, the cryptocurrency market will benefit. Once again, there is a single provision in the plan that I despise, specifically, the 21st Amendment, which was approved by Congress today. The requirement that crypto issuers provide quarterly certification and reports was the first thing that grabbed my attention, and I noticed that many people online were claiming that Ripple's wasn't a problem or that they had received XRP as a gift. Ripple, the Cardano Foundation, the Ethereum Foundation, and others like them would all be issuers. You can read Mark Vegel's thoughts on the term from his time as SEC director. They are required to submit comprehensive updates regarding blockchain systems, financial information, and risk factors. As an example, a company that leads in this space typically releases quarterly reports, but those reports often exaggerate the positive aspects. In contrast, these reports would require extensive disclosure of risk factors, information that the company may prefer to keep private, a development plan, i.e., not making a bunch of wild claims, and details regarding any material changes from the previous report. We usually tell people to do their own research, and I believe this will really provide them with access to trustworthy information. Doing so, in a world where you can't trust a word anyone says, will usher in a new age for this asset class, one into which serious investors can dip their toes and allocate substantial funds. To paraphrase, every 3 months, the issuer is required to report on the status and progress of development funds, including any changes that have occurred and information that has been verified as accurate. Nonetheless, we must take these allegations seriously in order to verify their accuracy, so that these cryptocurrency corporations aren't privy to more information than us investors. We'll be able to know what's really happening and play by the rules. To be honest, I'm most interested in that aspect of this measure. Even in the final edition, I believe that will be evident, which is fantastic. In my opinion, Ripple is going to have a tough time with this section. It's going to be difficult to find out how to prevent cryptocurrency issuers and their affiliates, think Ripple executives, from owning more than 20% of the assets supply. As a result, power in the market and ownership of assets are distributed. So, when we consider Chris Larsen, he has 4, or 5%. Arthur Brito ranks 5th with 4. There are literally billions of XRP on Ripple. How exactly are they going to divide things up in a way that makes sense? The good news is that the escrow portion, not the entire escrow but the one that is due within the next 12 months, would be included, and when added to what they already have on hand, the total would not exceed that 20% margin. This might cause a significant influx of new XRP into the market, which would be bad news for XRP investors as every Ripple's is under intense pressure to increase the rate of their sales. Giving some of their XRP holdings to a foundation that promotes value and building could be one method they can relieve this. I think it would be better if they didn't airdrop to holders at all, because when individuals get free money, they're more likely to just dump it on the market. Additionally, there's the option of destroying the inventory. My opinion is that it is not a wise use of that XRP. Some incentives in the network would be great for those who operate validators and similar systems. They'll need to make significant changes to this, so we'll watch their progress. If the 20% condition remains in place, it will become final if that passes. You don't want one individual or organization to control such a large portion of the supply. Doing so would cause a lot of issues, but I still think it's a good concept. The XRP ledger is decentralized, which is great for the network. Given the magnitude of the danger involved, I believe they can sell out all of their XRP holdings to this point, at which point our remaining XRP will be worth a lot more. In my opinion, XRP's future becomes considerably more promising once it is removed. It is clear from this quotation that neither the issuer nor any of their affiliates have any aggregate beneficial ownership of digital assets. In order to add up, that is the key. Dear Chris, Arthur, Jed, and the rest of the corporation can't afford to have even 20% of the total go towards rippling effects like this. This is when my statement on the escrow comes into play. Nothing about it can be freely utilized, transferred, or made available for any other purpose. The duration is probably 12 months. That way, they won't have to worry about adding it to that 20% total, and they can put some money away in the escrow account. Additionally, it provides them with greater flexibility to perhaps sell gradually rather than all at once, saving them the trouble of having to allocate those coins immediately after making a large run at this. They can choose from a number of alternatives without giving these matters any consideration, but I'm confident that we will succeed. And I prefer an XRP ledger with Ripple. There isn't much of a motivation to keep expanding this use case with so many XRP, but there isn't nearly enough to make it fair. Plus, I predict XRP's value will skyrocket. Therefore, I think that's a good thing, because it benefits us. Finally, this is where the negative stuff comes in. What exactly is awful about this? I don't understand which section is the worst. What happens to regular people who want to invest? The current version of the law restricts non-accredited investors to no more than 10% of their yearly income or net worth. The common man loses out in situations like these time and time again. It's similar to the situation where private equity firms refuse to accept ordinary investors. Perhaps in the future, similar to what happens with private corporations, they will state that you can only acquire these top crypto assets, but not any of the emerging ones. Once again, they begin to exclude you from those investments. This is the case, and it bodes well for those who are wealthy enough to be credentialed or who got into cryptocurrency early and now have a substantial net worth. The average person, however, will face obstacles if they wish to participate in this arena and continue investing. Well, that's unfortunate. Financial independence shouldn't be reserved exclusively for the well-off or those with substantial holdings, you know. Everyone ought to be able to do it. The government directing people what to do is something I just do not like. As an example, the government should not force you to invest more than 10% of your income in cryptocurrency, even though it could be a reasonable cap. Therein is the crux of my difficulty. You earn your money by working hard. If you're interested in purchasing enchanted coins online, in my opinion, the government has no business caring about your actions. Well, that concludes our video. When you're done, hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. Coming up shortly, farewell.